entry level, mid-level, and what do you call intermediate, or the higher level of pay grades are going to be for the different programs. So for most of you, it was probably an eye opener, but you have to remember that the data that's there is listed for stateside, okay? Depending upon where you're at in Guam, it may be higher if you're in the private sector, maybe a little bit lower if you are in the government, because of what happens is that normally in the GovGuam agencies, people kind of like hold on to retiring, and so they're in there and they're not able to get to that position or move up until someone leaves, okay? So, let's go ahead and go take a look at Module 7. We worked with the customer view and update form last time, and we also looked at item number 2, which is dealing with the, number 3, which is dealing with the sales rep order data form. So I'm gonna go ahead and work with number 3 first, okay? Now, in terms of the table, I used to be able to do this, okay? I used to be able to create my here. So I'm gonna do this.
She started on time.
Okay.
Good Sunday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're small.
Okay, so in terms of doing item number 3, what we did before was we went to go to a blank form, right? And then what we did is we showed all the tables. We went ahead and selected the sales rep number because that's what it's asking for. So we have this, and then what we did from that is we added in this particular one here, added on here, and we went ahead and get rid of the text 3, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and in the design view, in the unbound, we're going to go ahead and say equal, it's going to be first name, and you guys already created this, correct?
Yes.
And then, ampersand, space, quote, space, ampersand, and in brackets, the last name field.
Sorry, Miss 7-1, right?
This is 7-1, yeah, okay?
Oh, that's
So if I were to go back in there and just check to verify, and if I do a design, and I go to this, you'll notice that this shows up. So in order for me to correct it, all I do is go into the design view, and then what I will do is go into the property sheet, and I select the corner over here, and when it comes time to the all, I want to make sure that I will select the sales rep table, and when I select the sales rep table and then view it, it should work. So I had done it initially, but it was just for a field name in the sales rep table. But when I did the concatenation, it did not see the sales rep table in general, so that's why I had to do that extra step. Okay. Now, what we wanted to do is we wanted to do a sub-form, because the way it's worded is that create the sales rep order data form shown in the figure below. The subform that appears in the charts tab, the subform that appears in the data sheet tab uses the sales rep and open orders query. What I used to be able to do before was this. I would go in and I create a subform, use the control wizard, select the subform over here, use the subform report, click here, And with this, this will show up. So I'm gonna be using an existing tables and queries. I go to next, and I would select the sales rep and orders queries, and that's what it's telling me to use, correct? Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and so what happens is that with this, it tells me that I only want to use the customer number, the order number, and the amount, yes or no?
Customer number, order, and amount, yeah.
Okay.
What number are you on?
Customer number, order number, and amount, right? This is number 3 for 7-1. So when I click on next, it's either going to ask me to choose from a list or define my own. Because the table already exists, I want to indicate choose from a list. But the problem is, and I'm not sure why it's doing it, but when I click on next, I have this prompt that shows up, correct? So it says that I have to go back and include it. So in order to get it there, I'm gonna go ahead and click on OK, click on back. I'm going to remove all of this here, and then go ahead and include the sales number, customer number. I could have just gone and done that. So when I go ahead and go through the same process here, you'll notice that it goes through. But in the presentation in the book, it doesn't include the sales rep number. Okay? So this is going to be called the sales rep order data. Now there's a problem still, okay? I don't have one over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on finish. When I do this and I view it, I will see the records similar to what I have in the book. And if I go on to the individual sales rep number, I can see that there is going to be a change. So I know that it works, okay? The only thing is that in this case now, the sales rep number is also included up here, which we shouldn't have. But in order for me to force it to work, I had to include it. Okay? Now, the other thing is that before, what I was able to do, what I'm not able to do now, is this. When I have this here, I'm able to go in and go ahead and take the charts, which is up here, and go to the side. I click on that, and I click over here, and go here, right? If I click there, it automatically allows me to add it, but as you can see, it's going to be a separate item. It's not having like a separate tab. I used to be able to do that. But now, when I do this, let's just say that I'm basing it on a query, it's based on the sales rep over orders, go on to the next. I only want the customer number, and I want the amount based on the chart. Go on to the next, it's gonna be a bar chart. Go on to the next. Everything remains the same. Go on to the next, and this is gonna be called the, what is it called now? Total amount by customer. I click on finish, I'm going to see something that looks like this, but as you can see, my chart is going to be separate. It's not going to be on separate sheets. So when I go ahead and view it, this is what it's going to look like. And that's not what the book is asking for. They want 2 separate sheets. So before, I'm able to go ahead and add this chart to here. But now I cannot do it. That was a function that was doable before. So in order to meet the needs of that particular assignment, this is what we have to do. Go back in, go in here, and I am going to take this, delete it, take this here, delete it, okay?
So we're gonna delete ours now then.
Huh?
We're going to delete ours with
Yeah.
that now?
Standby.
Because that's what I'm supposed to be able to do.
Right.
You know, that's how I've been doing it,
You still
but,
number 3?
yeah, number 3. not even able to use the chart to add it on. So you're going to be using this here, tab controller. This is what the book talks about. Usually what I try to do is show you something that's different from the book.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to try the book now because this is the one that works and it doesn't, what I normally do doesn't work. So we're going to go ahead and click on this tab here. When you click here, you're going to have the page numbers. Mine is 16, 17. What is yours?
Page 30, page 31.
Page 30, 31.
21,
So,
23.
okay, it's going to be different for each one. So what you're going to do is that you are going to go into the property sheet for this particular tab here. And so let's go say mine, go to the proper sheet, according to your book, this is called what, the data sheet, right?
Where'd you get the tabs?
I went to the folder, right here. This one for this tab here, it's going to be called charts.
Mine's 1 and 2.
Okay, yours is 1 and 2, which is good. It's going to vary for each individual depending on what you did, okay? So if I want to increase this, obviously I just go in here and increase the size of my chart. So for the first one, all of you have this already, it's set up. If I go and view it, this is what I'm going to see, my report, okay? To add in my info for the data sheet, making sure that this tab is selected, I'm going to work with the subform, which is over here. Similar to what I did earlier. I click on the subform, and you notice when I go down to this data sheet, it's black. You click on it, the same prompt comes up like I saw earlier. So I'm going to be using an existing table and query. I click on next. Do you remember what it's called? Sales rep and open orders. Okay, now again we're going to try it. Customer number, order number, amount. Those are the 3 fields. I click on next. I'm choosing from a list. Next, guess what? I get the same thing. So in order for me to get it to go, I'm going to click on OK, click on back because I want it to be the first one. I'm going to go ahead and remove everything and then add everything here.
Even the sales rep number?
Even the sales rep, because when I tried to just have the 3, I
Yeah,
had
one more.
a prompt that says it's not allowing me to continue. Alright?
Okay.
So when I click on next, once again you're choosing from a list. You go on next, and this is going to be called the open orders for sales rep. Okay.
Is your insert on? Did your insert?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, there you
'Cause
go.
it's like a
There you go.
okay, so when I click on finish, I'm gonna go ahead and call it 1 because I already have something that's there. And then just remove it and rename it later on, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and click on finish. And then if I go into my report view, this is what I have. Okay? I have this here. So it's 1 to 7, I move it on, here's my text, so it changes. Somewhat similar to what I had earlier, correct? I go back in here, go into my design view. This one is a little bit too low for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and make an adjustment. I'm gonna take this here, and I'm gonna drag it up a little bit so that it's not too far down. And then go ahead and view it, looks better. Okay. So now I wanna add on my chart. For my chart, all I have to do is go to the charts tab, which is right here. And this is my insert chart. You click on that. You go down below, it turns black. You click and release, this shows up. So here you want the sales rep and open orders. the query. We go into next. What are the fields that you want based on the chart that you see?
The query you chose was sales rep and order numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's in the
Sales rep.
Yeah.
Number.
Because it says here that you're going to, the chart, the chart tab uses the same query. So that's the reason why I chose that.
So all four, right?
How come I only got
Cause you probably didn't put your query in yet.
You have tables, which is this. You have queries, which is this.
do you have sales rep and open orders?
Yes.
I don't.
We did that in step number 2.
Yeah, I thought I did it with she cameras. Wait 4 minutes?
Right here. Sales revenue.
You should have it because you're able to create the chart, I mean, the first one, right?
Yeah, I thought I made it. From module 7, right?
Yes.
I don't know why mine's not
Okay.
here.
You want to take mine?
Can I see your
Oh, yeah.
Thought I did that.
Yeah,
You just
I
take